What's the value of working with an elder law attorney? An elder law attorney understands government benefit. How does that help you? Let's say you went to an estate planning lawyer and they prepared for you a pretty good estate plan, but it didn't contain any of the provisions an elder law attorney would include to protect you in case of a long-term care event. What an elder law attorney will do is they will make sure your powers of attorney have certain provisions in it that allows us to move assets between spouses with no penalty. What it allows us to do is to even gift assets, if that makes sense, to qualify someone for Medicaid long-term care benefits. And oftentimes when we are working with a client who perhaps they've lost capacity, one of the spouses, so we can't redo their documents, we are limited by what an estate planning attorney did because they didn't understand why it was so important to have these particular provisions. So an elder law attorney will make sure that your estate plan has necessary provisions in it. Oftentimes clients who are married say, well, what happens if one of us needs long-term care and we're both alive? We understand that Medicaid will pay for our care, but only when we're broke. That's not true. Medicaid will pay for your care even when you have significant assets. For example, let's say you're a married couple and you have $1 million estate. $500,000 of that is in your house and $500,000 is in a bank account. And one of you needs to go to a nursing home. Most attorneys who are not elder law attorneys who specialize in Medicaid will say, oh, that's too bad. You better spend down some of your money, spend it on the care. An elder law attorney, first of all, will ensure that the care is appropriate. That is one of our paramount concerns. But let's assume that the skilled nursing facility is appropriate. We will suggest to the clients that don't spend down your money. Your house is exempt. $130,000 is exempt in the state of Washington, and the rest of that money can be put into a Medicaid qualifying annuity. What that means is that annuity takes money that is countable and renders it non-countable. So this couple with $1 million estate qualifies for Medicaid. That's not information you are going to get from a estate planning lawyer or an elder law attorney who doesn't do Medicaid work. So one of the values of working with an elder law attorney is not having to spend down all your money. Also, very importantly, when let's say we have a couple and one of the spouses has died, we want to make sure that their estate plan, their will in particular, has the right kind of trust in it, because with that right kind of trust, take the couple with $1 million estate, we can protect half of it, if not 100% of the estate against long-term care costs, creditors, taxes, and allows the surviving spouse to qualify for Medicaid without having to spend down any of their money. So the value can be, half the estate, if not the entirety of the estate, especially when long-term care is involved either for yourself or for a family member. See an elder law attorney who understands Medicaid's rules.